Welcome inside the State Champs Sports Network studios for another episode of State Champs Ohio Extra Point. I'm your host, Jeremy Otto. First off, we want to thank our presenting sponsor, Lawrence Technological University. Lawrence Tech has over 24 varsity NAIA level sports, and you can recruit yourself. Just go to LTUathletics.com, click the Recruit Yourself link, fill out a short questionnaire, and a coach will get back to you within 48 hours. We also want to encourage you to check out our Ohio Extra Point podcast. Everywhere and anywhere you listen to your podcast, we've talked to some of the highest profile programs in the state, and that trend continues this week as the head coach of Pickerington North, Nate Hillerich, sat down with us. More on that later in the show. And for a full list of the various State Champs podcasts you can follow us on Spreaker. Just search State Champs. It's now time for the Week 7 highlights. On the east side of the state, the Steubenville Big Reds were at home taking on the St. Francis de Sales Stallions. The Stallions got on the board first with a field goal. Gabe Caruso looking to add to that as he takes the handoff and busts in the end zone to go up 10-0. The second quarter, Gavin Bazika powers his way to the paint from 5 yards out, putting Steubenville on the board. The Big Reds trailed by 3 at the half. Bazika continued that momentum in the third, bouncing to the outside to give his team a 14-10 lead. The Stallions and Caruso had an answer next, St. Francis going up 17-14. Steubenville inside the red zone again, and you guessed it, Bazika pounds it in for the 7-yard TD. His third of the night, and a huge seam up the middle next for Avery Garlock. Doesn't disappoint 66 yards later for another St. Francis score. The PAT was no good, 23-21. And the Max Shulaw would put this one away, collecting the pick off the tip, taking it to the house as St. Francis sealed a 30-21 victory. Heading north to Avon as the Eagles hosted the Bulldogs from Olmsted Falls. Olmsted with an exclamation point to begin this one. QB Charlie Cielek chucks one up near the goal line, and Michael Kandow comes up with it for the 40-yard connection. Bulldogs up 7. Avon responds though. Running back Jacorian Caffey picks up his first of 4 scores on the night here, tied up at 7. Cielek and Kandow connect for a second time. The PAT was no good, and the score 13-7. Gavin Earhart joins the scoring, snatching a 14-13 lead for Avon. Cielek and Kandow with number 3 on the night in the second. 2-point conversion try is good to put them back up 7. Caffey adds another on the ground as the game was tied at 21, heading into the locker room. Take a breather. Olmsted's Luke Diekman, the first to break the scoring column in the third. The 2-point try is good as the Bulldogs go up 29-21 after 3. Avon would take control in the fourth. Caffey picking up his third, following an interception by Matt Fisher. Earhart would pick up number 2 as well, and Caffey makes his way in for the 4th score on the night as Avon goes on to win it 41-29. Let's travel to Olentangy Liberty now as the Patriots were at home taking on Upper Arlington. Zach Yokam opens the scoring with a 44-yard field goal, putting the Golden Bears up 3. Limited time remaining in the first, Carson Griesach finds some real estate here on the right side and converts 16 yards later, making it 10-0. Liberty picks up a 17-yard field goal to cut into the lead, but Upper Arlington opens it up after that. Simon Monin threads the needle over double coverage, and just like that, it was 17-3. The half winding down now, Monin to Cannon in the flat, turns on the Jets and takes off 66 yards, pushing it to a 24-3 advantage. Golden Bears recover the squib kick and Monin able to capitalize, hitting Carter Brock for a score, making it 31-3 at the half. Liberty would look to start to piece together some drives in the third. J.J. Siebert finds Alex Oakley by the pylon for 6. In the fourth, he connects as well with Dean Stack, who finds the end zone, but it wouldn't be enough as Upper Arlington takes care of business, winning 41-29. While State Champs also covered 3 other games in Week 7, here's the finals from them. LaSalle fell at home to Indianapolis Cathedral 35-7. Elyria handled North Ridgeville 30-0. And Marysville shut out Jerome 34-0. Well, as mentioned earlier in the show, we had a chance to check with Pickerington North head coach Nate Hillerich. His team has several ties to football greats, including Malik Ray. More on that here.
Malik Ray, another guy that has really led you on the defensive side, 35.5 tackles, 6.5 TFLs as well. Has some good bloodlines, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. His dad was a All-American at Michigan on the '97 national championship team, and you can tell that from, we have quite a few players whose parents played at a high level of football, but with Malik, his ball instincts, and we talk about turnovers. He's got I think 4 or 5 forced fumbles in our rivalry game. He stripped the ball and took it in and scored and just made a huge play for us. So just his knowledge of the game really separates him from a lot of guys maybe with his same ability.
Once again, thanks to Coach for coming on the show. To hear the full interview, log on to statechampsnetwork.com or search Ohio Extra Point wherever you listen to your podcast. Let's take a look ahead at the game State Champs will be featuring this week. Some good ones on the dock. Marymount is traveling to take on Wyoming. Elyria Catholic takes on North Olmsted. Whitehall Yearling and Harvest Prep are going at it as well. Canal Winchester at Westerville South. And on Saturday, a big matchup, St. Ignatius heads down to Cincinnati to face off with Moeller. Well, that's all the time we have this week. Don't forget to follow us on social media to keep up with everything Ohio high school sports. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search State Champs Ohio. I once again want to thank Coach Nate Hillerich for taking the time to talk with us, and our sponsor, Lawrence Technological University, where you can recruit yourself. Just go to LTUathletics.com. Have a great day. We'll see you next week.